Hello, everybody. It's Monday, April 6th, and thought I'd try again our every other day thing. Check in with you guys, see who survived the weekend, what you guys are up to. I know some of you went fishing, and some of you took advantage of our promo that we have going on online right now. Can't tell what looks better. Probably none of it looks better. Well, there's a bunch of you guys already. You got 20 people already, only been on for 30 seconds. Hello, Matthew, Brent. Brent found out he needed green peas. Green peas works good, and if you can go get some moss or some green kelp, that works good too. I mean, the way I learned about the grass thing was, or the kelp thing, was watching the opalite boil on it as it was drifting by. You guys are waiting for me? I was 2 minutes late today. So I was talking to my nephew in Kansas, and then I got away so I could come back and find you guys. So, any fishing questions? You tried with corn. Yeah, I've never tried with corn. What I have used, and it worked, but not quite as good, was salmon eggs. So Kyle wants to know, for my trip to East Cape, what kind of fish do you catch? Is most likely trolling. Kyle, there's a couple of ways to fish there. If you want to fish along the beach for, if you want to fish along the beach for rooster fish, cabria, stuff like that, you can do that. You can go in the middle area, which is only like a mile or two off the beach. Then there's the smaller grade of tuna, but last year there was tuna there like 100 pounds, but most of the tuna are like 30 to 60 pounds. Or you can go far offshore, 5-10 miles out, not that far, and catch a marlin, the sailfish marlin, dorado, wahoo. Sometimes we get the wahoo in close too. So sometimes you're trolling, and when you're fishing for the tuna, they're usually drifting over the banks and working them, and that's how they normally catch that. Yes, you can take the fish home with you. There'll be a company there. Usually, the smokehouse will be there as the boats come in. At all the resorts, they pretty much do it. But we'll be at Palmas. The smokehouse will be there, and they'll check in your fish. They'll ask you if you want it vacuum packed and sealed and all that. Then the smokehouse will take it and do that. If you just want your fish cut up and put in Ziploc bags, I think they do that there at the hotel. But I think a lot of the resorts were going to just start farming it out to the smokehouse. But you could ask at the different resorts. Most of the people that go on my trip all send their fish to the smokehouse, and then they have some people will have some of the fish smoked. A lot of people just have the whole fish just ziplocked and frozen. You don't need to bring an ice chest because they sell boxes, specially designed boxes for the air travel, and you can do that, and it works out fine. But yeah, I normally bring back fish every trip. So I hope that answers your question, Kyle. Marcus, how do you find yourself? I'm okay. I went into the office today because I had to send TV shows out to the stations. So it's a little eerie being the only one there, but that's the way it is right now. Ivan, hello. Tony had a job offer in Kansas. Well, we're gonna have people from Kansas on here today. Um, Slayer says it's going fishing the jetty here in SoCal. Yeah, we see a lot of sargo right there where I was catching those opali that I filmed the video on for you guys. I see a lot of sargo right there. I haven't fished for them there, but when I see them swimming around there, maybe I'll film a little video for you guys. I don't know that crappie bait would work, SoCal. The opali are really, they love green things. So they love the green peas. They don't eat meat. They're not going to really chase anything. It has to kind of be drifting. So they're probably going to eat stuff like, you might try lettuce or something like that. But that's, something like that. I was thinking about taking a piece of green cloth and wrapping it on a hook, kind of like they do for fly fishing, and see if I can green thread and see if I can make that look like some eelgrass or something. I think that would work, but I got to try it out. Let's see what else. Any tips on gear techniques for fishing off jetties? It all depends what you guys want to fish for. I know a lot of you are into catching bat rays, sand sharks, stuff I don't normally fish for. But if that's all you want to catch, a dropper loop rig would work fine. Sinker down deep, two hooks spaced out a couple feet apart, and dead squid, and you'll catch all the bat rays and sand sharks you want. If you want to try to catch a sand bass or something, mussels, bloodworms, something like that might work. You might catch a sand bass on a strip of squid. I mean, that's how we catch them all the time. Tyler wants to know, do I have an aquarium? No, I don't. I used to have an aquarium. I have lots of dead fish here. I don't know. I can tilt this over and show you guys. So, that was an out-at sheep. There's can't quite. There's a couple of trout up there, but I have a bunch of fish in my house. I have a big sailfish in my living room, and I have a bunch of tuna, a big largemouth bass in the hallway, like a 12-pounder. So, but don't have an aquarium. Oh, someone made some ceviche with shrimp. That's cool. Quaker wants to know, when can we return to charter fishing again? I wish I knew the answer to that. I really do. I wish I did. San Diego's locked down the whole harbors now. I don't know if you guys seen in the news that they're writing tickets now for people kayaking, paddle boarding, and their new law says no sport fishing in San Diego Bay or Mission Bay. Jonathan wants to know, surf fishing. I think there are a couple of beaches you can surf fish. I would check with the lifeguards though. I think the only beach I know for sure, I shouldn't say for sure, but the only beach I've heard of where they're allowing people on the water is Huntington Beach. I know Seal Beach is closed. I know Surfside's closed. I'm pretty sure Long Beach is closed, but I don't know about, in the news, Huntington was talking about letting people walk through the beach with surfboards, and that people were allowed to be on the beach, but they couldn't hang out in groups together. So I don't know. What's the other question? Any recipes for spider crabs? No, I've never eaten a spider crab, but I have a doctor friend who loves spider crabs. He says they're delicious. I have never tried it. It's probably the same as any crab, I would think. You steam it or something. Miss fishing the Marina Del Rey bait docks. I've never been fishing on the Marina Del Rey bait dock. I see it there all the time, but I've never fished on it. Yeah, we've got quite a few triggerfish over at Catalina Island. And if you guys don't know it, triggerfish is delicious ceviche. Makes a great ceviche. Okay, what else? Hey, Corbin's here. What's the most unusual bait you've ever used or tried using? Well, Corbin, the most unusual bait I've ever used was a chunk of elephant meat in Zimbabwe, fishing the Zambezi River, trying to catch catfish. Yeah, they gave me a piece of elephant meat that they had from a hunt that was there when I was on there in Safari for Sportsville magazine, and that was a little bizarre. Best way to pump ghost shrimp. The only way to pump ghost shrimp is to use a pump, a hand pump. You get the hand pump. They sell them all over. Lots of people make them. I'm sure you can find them online, or your local tackle store has them. I think all the tackle stores have some sort of ghost shrimp pump you can get. Some of the stores are open. I've talked to a couple of stores, and you just need to call them. They'll take your credit card, they'll take your order for you, and it's like curbside service. You pull up in the parking lot right in front of the store, and they'll bring the gear that you ordered. So, like a ghost shrimp pump, you can get that from a tackle store. Yeah, I don't know if you guys know it, but in Baja, and they probably don't do this anymore, but when I was first going down to Baja, was it, I don't know, 35 years ago, um, the locals would use the skin from triggerfish as sandpaper because that's how rough that stuff is. And don't, if you're ever in Baja, don't try using soft plastics. We tried one year using a bunch of soft plastic baits to catch triggerfish, and every bite was another bait because they just bit right through them. Their teeth are so sharp. Okay, so you guys helping each other on freshwater. That's nice. Okay, so SoCal says that Long Beach area fishing spots are closed too. Yeah, I'm pretty sure all the beaches are closed in Long Beach because when I was down at my boat the other day, I was driving in the parking lot, went to the edge of the parking lot where the sand is, and they had signs up that did say beaches are closed. I don't know about Newport. I don't, you have to call the Harbor Patrol and ask them if Newport, if you have your own boat, if you can fish inside the harbor there. I don't even know if the boat ramps are open. So you would have to find out if the boat ramps are even open. Yeah, I don't think anybody really knows what is going on as far as where you can fish. And if you guys can stay indoors another week or two, hopefully this will end, but who knows? We may not be allowed back out there until June, the way they're talking, but the news was better today, so maybe it'll get better. Yeah, it's raining right now. Anthony, no, none of the sport boats are open right now. As far as I know, there are no sport boats running in the whole state of California. I know up in San Francisco, Emeryville, Oakland, they're all locked up and closed up. The guys are going down their boats and doing some work, but the boats aren't running. Yeah, Lewis is asking if the fishing's going to get better because of the closure. Yeah, it's going to get better. There's no pressure. So even though if it's only a month, it's going to make a difference of nobody fishing. Like there are people going out on their own boats fishing. I drove by Davies over the weekend, the boat ramp, and I saw tons of, a bunch of boats, boat trailers and cars there. So people are going fishing, but it's not like a sport boat getting out with 90 people over a sculpin spot. There's a lot fewer people out there. Yeah, that's a good idea that one of the guys has there. That here on YouTube, you can find out, you can watch a video on how to make your own ghost shrimp pump if you don't want to make one. Okay, so Brent says the Sunset Marina ramp is open in Huntington Beach, so that's good. I don't know if they would let you fish in there in that marina. I mean, there's some good fishing right there by the bridge. Well, I hope we're not waiting 6 months before we go fishing. So what does Abel say? Hello, Dan. Proud of you. Do you know some role model for today's? What's the best rig for catching halibut? Abel, for catching halibut, if you're going to use live bait, you want to use a reverse dropper loop rig. So if this was your sinker, which it's not, it's a battery, you would have your weight on in the loop of the dropper loop and your hook free from it. So your sinker would be on the bottom and then your hook would be up above, close to the bottom, not very far, but close to the bottom, compared to a regular dropper loop rig where your hook would be in the loop and your sinker would be in the bottom. So I like to use a reverse dropper loop rig for that when I'm fishing for halibut. So Henry, you placed an order the other day. So all the orders are going to go out on Thursdays right now. So Thursdays is the only day that we have orders going out right now. And I don't know if you guys heard last time, if some of you are the same people that were here last time. We have this code that you can use, and use that code and you can get 20% off magic metal jigs, all the sizes, and the B52 bucktails, all the sizes and colors, 20% off. Just use that code. It doesn't work for the magic metal lights, and it doesn't work for the HD bucktails, but it does work fine for the regular bucktails. You see a campaign cover. Oh, the hat. This this is a gift given to me by drill instructors at San Diego Marine Depot. So this was given to me as an honor because for many, many years, I would take the guys fishing as our Christmas special episode. And we did it for like, I don't know, 12 years or so, at least 10 years with Chris Randall when he owned the Indian. And then the Hollywood department or the media department for the U.S. Marine Corps didn't like it. They thought it was kind of unbecoming of a Marine to be seen having a good time out fishing. So they wouldn't let me do it anymore. So before I got not allowed to do it anymore, the guys gave me this, and they gave me a neat oar thing that was really cool. So I really appreciate that. Okay. I missed some questions. Let me see if I can scroll back. Yeah, you want to, like Jonathan says, you want to use the peas. I haven't had much luck with the frozen peas, but I would probably try that. If you're going to use a bobber rig, that would be okay if you're like at the breakwater or the jetty and a size 8 or size 6 hook, but they have to be bait holder hooks. You need the hooks with the barbs on it. The first timer interested in trying charter boat fishing. What are your tips? What are your tips to prevent seasickness? I would tell you the number one thing is do not drink the night before. If you drink the night before, there's a good chance you're going to get sick. Dramamine works. I see people use Dramamine. The one I hear the best or most positive results from is the guys that use the patches that they wear behind their ear. But that takes a prescription, and you can get that from your doctor. Okay. Best setup for opalite. Yeah. Why would you use a treble hook, though? I wouldn't use a treble hook for opalite. Because, I mean, if you're going to keep them all, but if you're going to be releasing fish, don't use them. Don't use a treble hook. Drop shot for halibut. Drop shot for halibut works good, especially if you're fishing off a jetty or a breakwater or something like that. I mean, not off the breakwater, but if you're on a jetty, I've seen quite a few guys catch them on drop shot. Yeah, that was a good point about Dramamine. Don't take it when you get on the boat. It's too late. You might want to take like a half a pill the night before, and then in the morning take a full pill as you get up after you have breakfast or whatever, or as you're leaving for the boat. But do not take it when you're already on the boat. It's probably too late. Tony, is fishing for sculpin relatively new thing? No, it's not really a new thing. It's we never really target sculpin like they would be like a bycatch when I was growing up. They've always tasted good, but it's kind of like lingcod. I mean, for years nobody wanted to catch a lingcod. They just thought they were ugly, and people didn't understand how the meat was different colors. Some of them are blue, some of them are green color, and they found out later it's all just what they eat. But lingcod tastes delicious. Sculpin tastes delicious. A lot of sport boats like to target sculpin just because it's an easy fish for everybody to catch. And the more fish they get on the boat, the more side money the crew makes, and everybody gets paid for all the fish cleaning. So that's kind of the reason there. Okay, Brett. Yeah, I'm sure there were a lot of boats out there. Okay, so Ricardo wants to know. He has a 24-foot boat, would like to take it out. Was wondering, is it safe to eat fish from the breakwater? Yeah, I would think it's fine. The fish you don't want to eat are like the tomcod. Fish like tomcod do not move much, so they'll stay in one area all the time. And if you ate 10 tomcod a year, I don't think anything's going to happen to you. If you ate 10 tomcod every day for 2 years, then maybe you might get sick or get something. But no, I mean, if you fish by the break, and if you're going to fish by the breakwater, you really want to fish on the outside of the breakwater. You don't want to fish next to Nacho. You want to be outside the in the open ocean, out on the other side of the rocks, and that's where the fish are. The fish are in the kelp there. You catch a lot more fish there. If you're going to be inside the harbor, then you just want to drift probably and try to catch halibut and stuff. And if it's too rough to fish on the outside of the breakwater, go anchor up by the oil islands. And all those oil islands, there's sculpin on them, there's spotted bay bass, there's sand bass, there's calicos. Sometimes when I have really rough conditions outside, that's where I take people. And I don't know if you guys saw pictures I posted last month. I guess it was February. Took a family out and the guy's wife. They're regulars. They come out to me about 4 times a year. He's on a wheelchair, and we had to anchor up. It was windy, too rough to be with her in a wheelchair out in the open water. So we had to anchor up by one of the oil rigs, and we did really good. Got some nice sculpin and some nice sand bass. Yeah. Right now, I would pretty much count on everything being closed. Tyler, like the only place I did hear on the news that was they were allowing fishing on the ocean was Huntington Beach, that they were allowing people to be on the beach. So I would think that would be okay. But Leg Lake is open if you guys want to go lake fishing. Leg Lake told me that people are welcome to go there and to go fish at the lake. They just don't want people in groups together, and you can't use any of the picnic tables or anything. That's all closed. So when you guys caught a 22-pound halibut and an 18-pound sheephead inside the harbor in San Pedro, wow, that's good. I can understand the halibut, but the sheephead, that's a really big sheephead. Hmm. What, what do I think about a Tranks 500? I've never fished one, so I can't say anything about it. Anthony, I would love to do the fishing trips with the guys the at the Marine Depot. It's the media department for the Marines. They won't let me, and they told me if I set it up and just did it on my own again, that I'd be in big trouble. So that maybe I can reach out to the media department again, see if they'll let me. But they did not like seeing their Marines fishing. I don't know why. I don't know why it was a bad thing for the guys to be on TV, and then they would yell, before every commercial break, we had 20 guys on the boat. We would let like 4 or 5 of them at a time before a commercial break say hi to their families wherever they were around the country, and wish them a Merry Christmas. But they haven't let me do that for a while. Hopefully, we can do that again. And if you're on the base now, you must be serving. So thank you very much for your service. And all you guys that serve, and thank you very much. And those of you that are stuck working right now on the front lines, I don't care if it's a grocery clerk or stocking the groceries or working a warehouse for a supermarket or a hospital or a doctor. Thank you guys all for doing that. What's your favorite spot in Hawaii? Mm, I've only fished Waikiki, and the two times I went wasn't that great. We just trolled all day. So, but I just enjoyed being on the water. Have I ever been to the Channel Islands? Aaron, really? Look at my YouTube channel here. Yes, I've been to Channel Islands many, many times. Great place to fish, and I have several trips going there this year. You're welcome to come with me. Just go to my website and sign up. Okay, let's see what other questions. James, fly line dropper loop. Okay, so James, a fly line and a dropper loop are two different setups. A fly line means this is your hook, and your line goes from the here right on the hook. No sinker, no nothing from your rod from your reel to here. That's a fly line. A dropper loop is a rig where you're going to have a sinker and then a loop line, and then that's a dropper loop. But you can go to right here on my YouTube channel and just do a search for dropper loop or double dropper loop rig, and you'll see that rig how I set it up. So you guys are all helping out each other. Yeah, no, people were asking too about the charters. Nobody knows when that's going to open up. Morro Bay is open like the boat ramp, or Morro Bay is open to go fishing in. I can't imagine the sport boats are running out of Morro Bay. I don't know anything about snagging crabs, snaring crabs. You should probably look up some of the guys up in Northern Cal because they do a lot of that. Looking to get a skipjack, 20 footers are a good choice. Is that a good choice to get to Catalina on good days? Yeah, a 20 footer would be okay to get to Catalina. You'd have to pick your days. I know guys that take 18-foot whalers over to Catalina, but you have to really pick your days. So make sure you check the weather before you go, and you get back early. You leave by 1 o'clock to get home, and you want to come home from the west. Any fishing channels on YouTube recommend? I will have to find some. There's one guy up in NorCal. I've met him a couple times. Really nice guy. I think it's a Fisherman's Life. Is his page Fisherman's Life? He's got a ton of subscribers. I wish I had the subscribers he has. I think he's got over 100,000 subscribers. You guys need to tell your friends to subscribe. I need to get to like 50,000 subscribers. I'm barely at 16. So help me get there. Help me get to 50,000 subscribers. James, how good are Avid 2 speeds? A lot of people use them. Um, I use have a lot of pins. I have some accurates. I do have one Avid, but I don't have a 2 speed Avid. Tony, I've taken pilots out. I guess those are Marines though. Um, taken pilots out from Miramar before, but again, I have to get permission. I should see. Maybe that's a good idea. Air Force. Maybe their media department would be easier. So yeah, for those of you looking to get a boat to go to Catalina, it all really depends on the weather. If the weather's nice and calm, you can get across an 18 footer no problem. But if you're thinking about a boat for a little bit rougher conditions, I wouldn't go smaller than 22. And if you could afford to go to a 24 footer, that would be good. And if you can afford to get two engines, twin engines on a 24 footer, that's even better. In case one engine dies on you, you're not stranded, you can get home. And I've had several occasions when I had to get home on one engine. So, how's fishing been at Catalina? The only one that can answer that are the locals at Catalina because there are no sport boats heading over there. When you travel the East Cape, do you bring reels and some lures? So Kyle, when I go to the East Cape, like we go every year to film, I take my own reels, I take my own leader material, my own hooks, and I do bring my own trolling lures. And just because I have certain trolling lures that have worked for me over the years, so I use those all the time. So I like those, so I do that. As far as rods and really rods and reels, you don't need to bring them because all the resorts now let you use their tackle for free. Do I fish the Gulf Coast? The only time I've fished out of there has been out of Homa and stuff like that, of Louisiana. Um, I guess I fished out of Florida, but we normally don't. We did a trip out of Marathon, but we stayed right there at Marathon fishing for tarpon. So Dan, what's the best? Hog Squad wants to know. Dan, what's the best thing to use fishing for white sea bass by Palos Verdes? If you're on a boat fishing, you want to use a bucktail with the whole squid pinned on, and you want to bounce it off the bottom. I guess you could try this from the rocks in Palos Verdes. I haven't tried it, but normally, if you hooked a 50-pound white sea bass from the rocks, good luck landing it. That would be a challenge. Tyler wants to know, do you have any other interests besides fishing? My youth foundation, I love teaching people about fishing. That's why I'm out here with you guys tonight. So I love teaching the kids about fishing. I enjoy traveling. I've been over to Europe like 10, 12 times, mainly for TV conventions, but I do enjoy traveling a lot. Mm, I don't golf or anything like that. I enjoy fishing, boating. I enjoy being on the boat. I enjoy the smell of the water and the rocking. I just enjoy all that. Alex wants to know what kind of boat is my sport fisher. Also, if you're seeing the boat in Alamitos Bay, that's a Chris craft. I don't use that one for charters anymore. My parents use that more like their weekend getaway. The boat that I use all the time is in Shoreline Marina, and that's a Tierra. That's a 33-foot Tierra. Overall length is about 35 feet. What are good lures inside Sunset Aquatics? Um, you can use something like a half-ounce B52 bucktail with a swim bait on it. Grubs work really good. Anything like that. Grubs, swim baits. I like stuff like this too. Stick baits, thin profile. These work out really good around pilings and stuff. With spotted bay bass. Halibut will eat them too. Tyler, have I ever had a TV filming trip where hobo got skunked? Yeah. I was down in Cabo one time for 3 days in a row. And the first 2 days we didn't catch anything. And the skipper was so mad that he gave me the keys and said, "You drive today, see if you can find them." And of course, we didn't find anything that day either. But yeah. So Quaker wants to know, have I ever met Bill Dance? Yes, I met Bill Dance many times. We have our pictures together quite a few times. You can go to my Instagram and you'll see pictures of me with Bill Dance, with Roland, with Jimmy. Um, yeah, bunch of us. It was like the first or second year I was on TV. I was sponsored by Pradco, and at ICAST that year they had all the TV hosts that they were sponsoring at the time together in a group photo, and it was like being um, like the Yankees with Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig and stuff. It was so neat because I was like the rookie, first one coming in, and then the group photo was everybody. It was Bill Dance, Jimmy Houston, Roland Martin. Um, God, I forgot his name. He used to do all the saltwater shows. The guy down in Florida, bald guy. You can see his face. So there was a bunch of us. There was like 20 of us in this group photo. And there was a lure pack that all these guys had their names on lures. And I got them all to autograph mine. And that was pretty cool. That was one of the great moments. Meet all your heroes at one time. That was pretty cool. Andrew, how you doing? Yeah, I remember meeting you guys at the West Marine store. I gave you guys some decals. Yeah, if you guys can share my videos on your Facebook pages or on your YouTube channels, whatever you could do, I really want to get more subscribers. So help me get to 20,000, 50,000 subscribers. I would greatly appreciate it. Have I ever been inshore, offshore kayak fishing? No. The kayaks I like have twin engines and the boats have bathrooms in them. So no. But I wouldn't mind trying it. Yeah, Beach for me saying that he likes my enthusiasm for fishing. I thought that was funny the way the comments were here on YouTube about me catching opaleye. That they were surprised how excited I was catching opaleye, and I don't care if I'm catching 600-pound marlin or 200-pound tuna or a 1 pound opaleye. To me, it's all fun. I enjoy it. They say the jerk is a drug, and I just enjoy fishing. My group trip to the East Cape, our first day in the East Cape at Palmas will be July 30th. And then our little trip is over like the 3rd or 4th. It's 5 days. 5 days, 4 nights at Palmas, 2 days fishing. It's $750. And that includes your room and the fishing boat. And that's based on 2 people to a room, 4 people on a boat. But you don't have to fish 4 people. We have people that just fish 2 people on a boat. So you can do that too. And there are some like bungalow rooms. So if you want to cut down the cost where you can put 4 or 6 people in a room, you can do that. So you can just give us a call at the office and we can give you the exact price for your group. Do I ever fish the Sierras for trout? I used to fish that a lot. I'm hoping to get back there this fall. Don't count on the trout opener happening this year in April, this month, because Bishop, Mammoth, everybody's sending out press releases not to come up there and visit them. That they have people up there that are already sick, and they have very limited very limited hospital beds up there, rooms. So they really don't want anybody to come up there till this is over, and then they'll welcome you with open arms. James, if it's someone's first time fishing Catalina on a private boat, is there? No, there really isn't like a place where I would say go there and you're always going to catch fish. The best thing you can do, James, is um, get close to the kelp beds. There's a lot of kelp beds on the back side of the island. There's some on the front side, and you can get close to the kelp and just anchor up close to it. Don't anchor up in it because you'll mess up your boat, but anchor close to it where you can cast to it, and you shouldn't have any problem catching fish. There's all kinds of bass and some yellowtail swim by, so that's what I would recommend. But there's so many spots at the island to fish. It just depends what you want to fish for. And the fish, they hang out in one area for a while, so that's why I do private charters. Take people out there and show them where to fish. So Paul is saying, thinking about pinheading this summer. What's a good way to approach Captain? The best way to approach them is to go and meet them and just, well, if it wasn't for the rule that you can't leave your house, I would say maybe now's a good time to go meet some of the skippers, but they don't want to meet anybody right now. I would say once this is over, I would go down and meet the crews. What you probably want to do is be there when a boat is coming in and they got all the passengers off and offer to help clean the boat, offer to help get the trash off the boat. I know several guys that started out that way and now they own boats. But that would probably be a good thing to do. So that's, if you go to a boat and they see that you're willing to help them, they're more likely to work with you. Henry stepped out to make a sandwich to know when we get in. Henry, we should have the glow in the darks in stock. We may not have them on the website. If you want to give us a call on Thursday, I'll be in the office Thursday at the office. If you call between like 9:30 and 4:30, we should be able to help you with an order. But I'll try to find out what's going on. How come? Why it says it's out of stock, but we should have plenty of stock of glow in the darks, B52s. And you're probably looking for a 6-ounce too, so I will have to double check. But if you give us a call, it's 562-865-3764. Call us on Thursday. We'll be in the office, and we can take a look at it. Marcus, I'm sorry to hear you lost your eyesight. What age? Mark wants to know, what age did I start fishing? Where did I get? And when did you get your first boat? Okay, so Mark, the first picture of me holding a fish, I think I was like 4. It was at Lincoln Park, East LA. It was a bluegill, about this big, maybe that big. There's a picture of it, me holding it, in my Youth Foundation website, where the information about me, you can see the picture. My family would have boats when I was in high school. We got a little runabout boat, little 16-foot boat that I got in trouble for taking the seats out of it. And me and my buddy Larry would use it to go fishing. So, but didn't really get a nicer boat till my 20s. And then once I got on TV, I had a bunch of boats after that. So I've had boats for a while. I have another boat in my backyard here that I hope to get running here pretty soon. When is your next live stream, Eric? We're gonna do every other day right now. So today's Monday, Wednesday at 7 p.m. Wednesday at 7 p.m. Tell your friends I'll be here. And if you guys want to feed me some questions ahead of time, I'll try to have stuff to ready for you to explain stuff. Um, one of the things I wanted to remind you guys, if you could support me, um, we have our app up and running, and it's only $1.99 a month. And there's a link there, and you can watch all our new episodes there, and you can watch all the programs there. It's $1.99 a month. So Hog Squad wants to know, for a squid that you pin onto a bucktail for white sea bass, the fresher the better. If it's fresh dead squid, I'd fish that. If you had live squid, I'd probably fish that. But if you don't have anything available, then you fish frozen squid. So for the East Cape trip, the question is, do we need to fly out to Mexico? You can drive down there if you want, but it's a 2-day drive, or it's a 2-hour flight. If you fly from LA or San Diego, it's probably a 3-hour flight from the Bay Area. But we have people coming from all over the country to join us. So, yeah, you can just join us there. Brian, I look forward to trying my new bucktails, magic metals. You're welcome. Glad you liked your 20% discount. What are your rates for your charters? Okay. We offer charters, a bunch of different trips. So I'll give you guys a link here for the website, and you can just go there and see the rates for that. We will have some specials to get over this virus thing, running some half price trips. I'm not sure if it's going to be Wednesdays or Mondays, but we will pick a few days a month to offer some half price open party trips, just to get the boat running up really good and get on some fishing. So there's a link right there, dhfishingadventures.com, for my private charters. And then for the TV show website, it's sport-fishing.com. I'm glad you guys like the cooking episodes. Thanks. What's the biggest fish I've ever caught? It was over 600 pounds. It was a blue marlin down the East Cape. Why are bananas bad luck on a boat? Okay. How difficult is it to service a jig master? If you know how to fix a reel, it's not hard to service a jig master. I personally take all my reels in to the shops to support the shops and let the guys do it. But if the reel just needs some oil, I'll use some Lucas oil, put it inside there, and it usually helps make it smoother. McBee says, thank you for inspiring me since childhood. My dad used to wake me up early on Saturday mornings, and the old Dan Hernandez is on. You guys don't need to get up at 5:30 in the morning. You can just tape it. So you could do that. Okay, Marcus, see you on Wednesday. Thank you. And then if any of you guys have any extra money and you can do a little donation, my youth foundation is trying to generate some funds because we had like over $1,000 worth of stuff stolen from our fishing clubhouse at Lake. So if you guys could help, anything would help. So whatever you guys could do would be great. And take advantage of the discount if you want to order some magic metals or B52 bucktails. Use that save 20. I think it has to be large caps. I'm sorry. I didn't put that there. All caps, save 20. And you get 20% off on our magic metal jigs um, and our B52 bucktails. We had a bunch of stuff stolen, a bunch of rods, our ice chest, our tackle bag. So if you guys can help out, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you, Mark. Tyler, have you ever found anything interesting inside? No. Just see the things that they're eating. Quaker, yes, I have done fly fishing for trout and salmon, and I've caught both. I've caught sailfish on a fly rod down in Costa Rica. Fishing SMB. You have never had any luck at Lake Lake? I mean, I've catched lots of little bass there. I've seen some nice big bass caught there, but you can catch catfish there right now. They stocked it with catfish, and there's always bluegill. So that's what we do at the kids club. We just let them catch bluegill. Do I ever use telescoping fishing rods? No. I try to use one-piece rods all the time, but I have used two-piece rods for like trout fishing and stuff. But for ocean fishing, I normally always use one-piece rods. Yeah, Brent's asking if the boat, my Tiara, is my first boat I've ever had with diesel engines, and yes, it is. Most of the boats I've had outboards on them. Had lots of boats from 18 to 24 feet. I think I had one 26-footer. They all had outboards on them. The Chris Craft had twin gas engines, and when I replaced it, I put gas engines in there. Wish I would have put diesels, but that would have cost even more. But the Tiara has twin diesels. It's nice. It's nice not having to worry about it blowing up every time you start it, and it's just really nice. I like it a lot better. Where are the bluegill located? Like they're everywhere. You should be able to see them before you fish for them. If you're at Lake Lake and you're just walking around, just look close to shore. Usually within a foot from shore, you'll see the bluegill. I mean, it's really not that hard to catch them. Yeah, you should catch and release. All the bass definitely should be catch and release. The bluegill should be catch and release. The catfish, you can take them home if you want. And when they stock the trout, they want you to take them home because once it gets too warm, they don't last. They'll start to die off. So one guy says he met me a year ago at the event at Rancho Charupa Lake. Thank you. Yeah, we wanted to work with them this year, but they didn't want to work with us this year, so they did the event without us. I was disappointed. I really enjoyed doing that lake in Riverside. So, has there ever been a crime committed during a charter youth event? Not that I know of. So Tyler's asking if there's ever been a crime committed during a fishing charter. I've never seen a crime committed on a fishing charter. I've never seen a crime committed during a youth event. The biggest problem we have at youth events is adult fishing. I know the adults get excited watching the kids catch limits of catfish, and then I see the adults, not letting the kids wind them in, and they wind them in. But we've had events, especially in San Diego, where the park rangers just escorted families out, because they wouldn't stop fishing. So, Matthew, the newer outboards gas effective as diesel. I don't know if they're, you know, cost wise, if they're as good as far as, how much you're going to spend for gas compared to diesel. And the diesel's just nice. It's just, I like the diesel engines. They run all day long. You don't have to worry about them. They work good. Have you ever won a big fish pool? Have I ever won a jackpot? Yeah, I won lots of jackpots. Even won a tournament, a bass tournament that was put on by one of the hospitals. Benny was running it, and I won it. And I won it fishing the breakwater. Are you running half-price charters in April or just? We're actually going to cancel all the half-day price charters for April since they don't want anybody outside. But we will be doing trips, some special trips in May and maybe June too. And they're going to be weekdays. There won't be any weekends. Okay. What's your favorite rod and reel for calicos, yellowtail? That size fish, I like stuff like this. Low profile reels. Never thought I would say that, but I do. With 65-pound Spectra and then 25 or 30-pound mono fluorocarbon. Cambria, just south of there. I tried a couple times in San Simeon, off the pier and then off the beach. Didn't do good. But off Cambria did really good. It was easy to catch a limit of fish there. I didn't keep any, but it was just easy to catch them. So, oh no, we didn't catch a broomtail. We that was out of Redondo. There was a bunch of broomtails that were by the bait receiver there, and the guy working the bait receiver would throw baits out, and you would see these 100, 200-pound fish come and boil up on there. So that was pretty good. Yeah, we do have the mystery tackle bags for sale on our website, and some of you guys have been buying them. Thank you. We have both $20 and $10, so you guys can do that. Corbin, is there any place you've ever fished before that you'll never fish again? I don't think so. I like to go back to the Middle East. I liked it there. I'd go fishing anywhere. Yeah, the mystery tackle bags are on my website. Let me see if I can find a link for you. And you just go to the website and you go under the shopping cart area. And it's one of the first things you see there. And here is a link to make it easier for you. There's a link for you right there for the mystery tackle bags. And there's a $10 one and $20 one, fresh and saltwater. And as fishing SMB will tell you, we throw in some swag in there too. So it's pretty good. Can you buy individually? Yeah, I mean, it's open. All you have to do is go to the website. You can use this link that I already posted there, and you just buy a swag bag. Buy one swag bag, buy two swag bags, whatever you want. I mean, swag bag, it's a mystery tackle bag, and we put different types of. They're not all the same. They're all different. So sometimes they're all just different stuff on there. You never know what you're going to get, but stuff you can use for fishing. And it's quite a bit more than if you went to go buy it in the store. You get more value there from the mystery bag. What size bucktail do I recommend for white sea bass? If you're going to go fish for big white sea bass, you want at least a 4 ounce, 2 to 4 ounce B52. And if I was going to just fish for big white sea bass, I wouldn't get the regular bucktail. You want to get the HD bucktail that comes with the big hook, and get the white or red and white, something that has white in it, like this blue and white, but something with the white in it, all white, works out really good. I catch a lot with red and white. So that works out pretty good. All right, guys, it's been an hour and 15 minutes. I got to go do some other stuff. So let's plan on a Wednesday. Please tell your friends. Please, support me on Patreon and support me with my app. It's only $1.99. It's only $1.99 a month, and you can watch our newer episodes there. Here's a link to Patreon, and if you guys have extra money, you can help out with donations for my youth foundation. I greatly appreciate it. We got to make up that stuff that got lost and got stolen. So thanks again. I'll see you Wednesday. Bye, everybody. Stay inside. Be safe.